It's been 3 years I've been asking you, you're still making shakara for me. I just told somebody that this was the Wheezy of that time, because then they made huge impacts. And I have Ferdinand already with us, yeah? Can we have Ferdinand's mic up? All right. Hello, Ferdinand. How are you? Hello? Are we sure that's the right port? Okay, can we have him unmuted, or let's sort this out so that we have the right thing. Okay, so Joseph, here we are. We're moving to Abia State, and what are you expecting to hear today from this session?
The new governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex, I think his news is going over the world, especially issue of energy. What he did to energy less than 1 year, I think is a giant step, and equally give concern to other governors too, that if he can do it, they should be able to do it too. And they used to say Abia is a place full of a lot of refuse. I think that was the first thing that he was able to do then, and contacting one of the construction giants to actually assist him. So there's a facelift in Abia, yes.
Okay. Let's see if you can hear us now. If I can you hear me, Ferdinand? Hello.
I'm hearing you people clearly.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Okay, that's nice. I was saying welcome to the program. Ferdinand Ekeoma is the special advisor to the Abia State Governor on media and publicity. Welcome to VOP 90.3 FM. Hello?
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're having a little delay there. So I
can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. So how is Abia today? Let's start from there. How is Abia State today? Looking all fresh and nice.
Yes, Abia is very fine. If you can just hear me clearly, but I'm hearing you guys very clearly. Abia is very fine. Abia is cool. Abia is calm. We have a very peaceful atmosphere, and by the special grace of God, we are making progress on a daily basis. So everywhere is calm.
Okay, it's great to hear that. So let's just move on straight to the very beginning of the conversation that we're having today. Let's start from the very beginning. Anywhere you go to in Nigeria right now, Abia State, Aba is like the El Dorado when it comes to electricity, because you guys have put something together that the rest of Nigeria actually is feeling, kind of jealous. We have you inaugurating the 181 megawatt power plant in the Aba area of Abia State recently. And it's a huge deal, a huge amount you used to get that done. How does it feel to hear other parts of Nigeria complaining about electricity, but you guys, Aba is all lit up? How does it feel?
Well, we are a government that is very sincere at all times. We do not like to distort facts. There is a huge improvement in power supply, but we are nowhere near to where we should be. There is no 24-hour power supply as we speak. So it's important we put the record straight. We do not like to claim what we do not have or what we have not done. It's also important to state that Geometric is a private investment. It is not Abia State government investment. It's not Dr. Alexoti's personal investment or investment done by him as the governor of Abia State. It's important we put the record straight. But what happened, and which is why the people are so excited, was that first, the Geometric power plant was a project financed by Governor Alexoti as the then MD and CEO of Diamond Bank to the tune of $500 million. This is an $800 million project. So the governor then, as an MD and CEO in the bank, showed so much interest because he understood the place and importance of Aba in the economic welfare and well-being of our people. So he supported Geometric. Now, of course, there was a problem. There was a hitch. There were some legal issues involving the EDC, that's the Enugu Electricity Distribution Authority, company rather, and Geometric. So it lingered for years. Now, even before the governor emerged as the governor of Abia State, he also got involved to ensure that the problem will be resolved. In collaboration with some respected sons and daughters of the Southeast, especially the Igwe of Onitsha, Igwe Nemeka and Alfred Achebe. So now, coincidentally, everything about Geometric was coming to an end with the emergence of our governor. There was an issue of lack of gas, inability to get gas supplied to Geometric from the NNPC. The governor, on assumption of office, swung into action, got involved, and started negotiating with the top management of NNPC. And that, of course, without gas, you can't function. The issue of a Geometric existing, will remain a pipe dream. So the governor got involved with the MD and CEO of Geometric, Professor Bart Energy, and by the special grace of God, there was a breakthrough. The problem was resolved. Now, what we did as a government, because, like I said, you understand the importance of power supply. You can't talk about industrialization and about being an industrial zone, being a business area. We believe that it will be in the interest of our government and the interest of our people to support Geometric to take off. So we rolled out everything, moved in with speed and commitment and dedication to support Geometric to take off. So our governor was involved once again. In fact, we were holding meetings regularly, but we weren't making noise about it because we didn't want to make it look as if we were trying to take credit for a private investment. The governor mobilized. We met with the Professor Naji, his wife, who is also a director in the company, a very strategic person there with huge, rich knowledge of the power sector. So we rode in, and our commissioner for power and public utilities, Engineer Ikpeazu Monday, who Governor Lesotho poached from General Electric Holland. His wealth of experience, we collaborate with these people to ensure that Geometric would take off. The governor also ensured that the road leading to Geometric was built immediately, got everywhere extracted, beautified, just to give them all the necessary support to take, to take off. And they have taken off in still some stages. For example, the EDC just exited Abia, the 9 local government, where Geometric is in charge of now. There are a lot of things that were not done, which Geometric is trying to do. Substations, the hard issues, you have places there are no transformers, they are trying to provide those things. So whatever you're generating and distributing will be able to get to the people. So that is where we are now. Like I said, there is a huge improvement, but I can tell you that in most places there's no 24-hour power supply. It's not 24-hour power supply. It is not, but there's a huge improvement in many places, and the people are so excited and appreciative of the government for the role it played to ensure that this came to fruition. So on a daily and weekly basis, we are getting feedback through our commissioner for power from Geometric to see the improvement, because every day the thing keeps rising. You see certain megawatts from 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 to 30 something. It's ongoing.
All right, so I know there is a slight delay in the feedback on this particular feed right now, so we may have a slight delay in response. So in advance, we do apologize for that. Now, you've made it quite clear, and we've heard directly from you, because sometimes I do see people complaining online that no, it is not everywhere, it's not 24/7 everywhere, but some parts, yes. So can we know the parts now that are experiencing a good supply of electricity, and how you managing the distribution? Because I see another name being mentioned here in the area of distribution. How are you managing the distribution, and where are the parts of Abia right now that have the most decent power supply according to the process you are following?
Okay, the way I try to go about this issue is not to make it look as if we are now holding brief for geometric or we are the ones doing these things. If progress is made, we do not want to completely take credit for it, but we are fully involved. We are giving them the necessary support. So if you look at areas like Osioma, close to where geometric is, there is huge improvement. If you go to the Obo Hill axis, there is huge improvement. Then if you come to the heart of the town, there is massive improvement. You understand? Because some of these areas have transformers, they have prepared meters, which is also a huge factor. And geometric has embarked on massive metering of the city of Aba. Because without prepared meters, of course, some of these things can't work. So those areas that have been properly metered, because you know what it is, thousands of prepared meters are to get the houses in Aba covered. Some of these things were not there. So that's exactly what geometric is doing. And then there was a hitch, and the hitch came from the crazy depreciation of the naira against the dollar, because these meters are imported. So it became so expensive that it will even be difficult for geometric to, buy and sell to the people. So, but with some level of stability that you're witnessing, it's not as if it's stable, but then, so they are putting so much effort to ensure that all the parts of the city are properly metered. So these are the process, a whole lot of things. Of course, people will know a lot of things are involved in the power sector. It's not a one-way thing. It's not a very easy thing. Because, for example, if you have issues with supply of gas from an NPC, like they witness every now and then, so you see somehow the thing will affect the generation and the distribution and all the rest of them. So, but some very major parts of the city are feeling the positive impact. But it's a continuous exercise, and the improvement is a sustained one. Consistency, that's the most important thing. So a whole lot of things are being put in to ensure that the progress that has been made, the success that has been achieved, is sustained.
Okay, so the area of metering and all that, the dollar keeps affecting it because of the depreciation in our naira and all that. Aba is seen as a place where we can manufacture anything. That remains small would have been able to make human beings in Aba. That's the only thing that's remaining. So why can't we take a challenge to make our own meters in Aba? Is this something you're thinking of, or is this something that is not doable?
Of course, you and I know that it's doable, but a lot of things are still involved. A lot of things are involved. For example, we're just a new government, so we are looking at a whole lot of things at the same time. It's just like you have EEDC, that's the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company. We also have the discussion with them because they are talking about the possibility of Abia state government acquiring geometric, so not geometric, rather EEDC, please. Okay. So these are factors. You just sit down. It's not something you just wake up and do. You need to, first of all, assemble the experts that have knowledge as far as this area is concerned.
Well, are you thinking
now look at all the things, all the components that are involved. Look at the resources.
Are you thinking of it?
Well, for now, we are not thinking of it. Of course, but the most important thing, to be very honest with you, our topmost priority is to support geometric, to carry out excellent.
Okay, a little techie glitch there. All right. Can you hear me better now? Okay.
We have interest in many areas, but there are fundamental challenges which we as a government, can solve. So we do not want to look into a whole lot of things that will become a distraction to us, because if you begin the process of say you want to produce meters and you're unable to do it, or the process continues until your tenure comes to an end, and there are fundamental basic challenges that the people want you to solve, and if you are unable to solve them and your tenure comes to an end, nobody will ever care about whatever effort you may have put in to ensure that you produce prepared meters and all the rest of them. So we are facing all those challenges of security, road infrastructure, job creation, waste management, and all the rest of them. Those things that our people need. In fact, these things remain matters of emergency as far as our people are concerned.
All right.
So we're dedicating so much energy, time, and resources to solving these problems.
We're going to go to those, but I'll quickly wrap this bit on about the electricity situation in Abia State, because it's now like the poster child when we talk about electricity in the country. So I want to ask the bit about payment, right? Compared with what Nigeria, the supply from our national grid is saying band A will be paying 225 or so naira per unit. Compared with yours, how much is being charged there? Because it's basically band A. Those parts where you have decent supply of electricity is basically like a band A. How much are people paying for electricity per unit in those regions?
This thing just started. To be very honest with you, because I stay in Umuahia and not in Aba. So if we're in Umuahia here, it is not geometric that is handling the issue of power supply here. It's still EEDC. Geometric is 9 local governments of Okwa East, Okwa West, Osisioma, Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South, Ugunabo, Obingwa, and of course, Aba North and Aba South. 9 local governments. So for now, I will find out later the change in what they are charging at the moment. So I will need to find out, to be armed with the facts before I can specifically say this is what. And of course, I can always speak with the geometric people to find out what they have done with respect to this band A and band B and the cost of the power consumption.
Let us know. We would like very much to know that how much it does cost right now. Let's move on to the other area. When His Excellency came into power, in like a week or a month or so, Abia turned around massively. First, you cleared a lot of the rubbish from that city, and it was a massive and beautiful thing to behold. Has any research been done as per how the rubbish in Abia got to become the way it was before His Excellency? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. So I'm interested in knowing.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I'm interested in knowing if any research was done to find out why that refuse became the way it became, one, and two, when His Excellency now stepped out to clear it all out, what is the plan to ensure it never happens again, even after he leaves office?
Thank you once again. We actually do not need to do a research to know why what happened in the past happened. It happened about a refuse ground, a dumping ground, a very now sitting environment, because those in charge used waste management to compensate people who played one role or the other in election rigging, to compensate OES members, to settle people who played one role or the other in bringing them into power. But here we realized that waste management, it would not be a wrong way to use, highly technical, is something that requires some high element of commitment and dedication and sincerity and seriousness. It's something that requires some level of professionalism. It's something that requires passion for sustainability. So on assumption of office, we knew that things were wrong, and we knew why things were wrong. Things were wrong, like I just stated, because of the way the previous government handled it. If you genuinely want to ensure sanity and cleanliness and decency and everything, you will do it. It requires discipline, it requires commitment, it requires sincerity, it requires dedication. So the governor swung into action. First, he took the decision to declare state of emergency as far as the area of waste management is concerned. He appointed a head of task force. He gave them a mandate. Resources were deployed. The waste management is very expensive. That is the truth. You deploy the resources, but the most important thing, if you prioritize your needs, if you prioritize your challenges as a government, you will be able to overcome them. So resources were deployed. You have somebody in charge of Abia, you have somebody in charge of Umai. They were able to restore sanity. Of course, the governor is in charge. And since the governor has given a directive, and you must adhere to his directive to the fullest. If you're unable to do it, and of course, he will fire you. So if you want to remain in your job, you must adhere strictly to the directive the governor has given, as long as resources have been provided. So they followed the governor's directive with tenacity, with commitment and passion and sincerity. And results started, coming out, and people started feeling it. Because these are not things you go about telling the people, we have cleaned up Abia, we have cleaned up Umai, no. It's the people that will see and say, yes, you have done this. So we didn't even want to bother ourselves by telling people, we have cleaned up Abia. No, we refused to say anything about it. The people started confessing themselves. And as we speak, you can move around Abia, you can move around Umai, you will see these things, for yourself. Now, we also realized that you say an emergency cleanup. We call it emergency cleanup of Abia and Umai. We knew that there was a possibility of, people relaxing after recording some success stories. The governor took a decision to say, we must get private operators involved. That led to the advertisement we carried out for private sector participation. And people were asked to bid for waste management in Abia and Umai. Abia was divided into 4, Umai was divided into 2 zones. And people bidded. After the bidding, all the bidders were invited to Umai, where the selection process happened. And first, we needed to ensure that all those who sent in, the documents and all the rest of them could see that nobody's document, nobody's reading was thrown out. Nobody's, document or whatever was thrown out, and they all saw it. After that, people were selected. You have preferred bidders, you have second preferred bidders, that were to stand by in case the other people do not perform. So we did that, and the improvement continued. They started doing well. We sustained what was achieved earlier. But midway, our governor also still was not happy, because once in a while, the governor will move around the city, especially on weekends, on Sundays. He will just drive around to find out. So the governor's position that yes, there has been an improvement, but it's not what we want to be. This is not what we want. Because we still have a situation where, refuse bins are, dumped in different
locations.
Refuse buckets rather, were kept in different junctions, even though different locations, even though these debris were being evacuated, refuse were being evacuated, but the refuse buckets were still being kept in different areas. They're going to say, no, this is not what I want. We want a situation where some of these things will be kept away from where people live. And how do you do it? When you do house-to-house collection of refuse, that this is where we want to be. That is the level we want to take it to. A situation where you go to people's houses and collect their refuse. When the time comes, they will pay. So we do not want it, because the truth is that what creates this practice of refuse being done at different junctions is by you not going to houses to collect these things. And
so
some of these buckets can also constitute huge nuisance in different parts of the city. So because of that,
are people paying?
Well, for now, the truth is that people have not actually started paying. That's the truth. In fact, if you run an independent investigation now, people have not actually started paying. You see, there is a way this government has operated, and that is give people results first before you ask for money. It's not just government can always collect money from the people, but you need to convince the people that you know what you're doing. You need to convince the people that you're doing the job for which you want to collect money from them. And we also realize the need to do enumeration And we have done that enumeration. So what we are going to do is now to serve notices to different, review a lot of things, because waste management is expensive. So we are in the process of trying to serve those notices now, having done all the necessary enumeration.
Okay. So all right, that there is a little challenge. Let me apologize to everybody listening. There is a delay in feedback. That's why it's like it takes him a little while to respond. Not his fault at all. It's just the network or whatever the issue is that's happening. We have a lot of things to look at in Abia State now, so we'll have to make it fast per each one. But before we leave this area of a cleanup of the state and all that, I'd like us to look at the cattle market discovery. That discovery in the cattle market, we can call it like a cleanup to where headless bodies, countless human skeletons, over 50 decomposing bodies, over 20 headless bodies, and as I said, countless human skeletons were found at Lopanta cattle market. This was sometime last year. The governor talked about it. What has been the follow-up to that discovery? Arrests made, did they lead to more findings and so on? And what has been put in place to ensure that something like this never rears its head again?
Okay, thank you. Just about 3 days ago, the governor was actually at that Lopanta cattle market to look at the progress of work being done there. You will recall that the government had taken a decision to say that the market will become a daytime market. People will go, trade, and leave in the evening, maybe 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., that nobody will live in the market again. And of course, markets are not supposed to serve as people's residences. They're not supposed to serve as, people's residence. And that was why we took that decision to say, we will clean up the place, we will fence the market, we will protect people's businesses and properties and all the rest of them. But people must go houses to live in. So we started by cleaning up the place. And if you look at the road median that served as, I don't know how, safe haven for criminals who park trucks, who block everywhere, who endanger people's lives with all kinds of things, all those places have been cleaned up. And the people there are now very excited. Even those who opposed the government initially, they have finally seen that the government actually meant well for them when the government took that decision to restore sanity there.
Now, arrests made?
Of course, security to a very great extent. Security. Of course, arrests were made. It's a pure security issue. A whole lot of things happened. Initially, when we said that decomposed and decomposing corpses were discovered, some people say we were lying, until Al Jazeera went there and we were able to show pictures and videos of those corpses, decomposed skeletons and all the rest of them. So it was a security issue and we managed it with high sense of maturity, because we wouldn't want a situation where some youths might take laws into their hands or begin to attack persons. It will not look as if it's an ethnic or issue. It wasn't. That that committed atrocities, came from different backgrounds. So you can't say it's people from here or people from here. Criminals will always find a way to form an alliance to commit their atrocities. So people were arrested, and of course, security agencies are doing the needful.
Well, you were able to identify some of the people.
Sanity has been restored there.
Yeah.
The most important thing.
Were you able to identify some of the people and notify?
They operated like kidnappers. They operated like kidnappers and ritualists. You mean the people that were killed?
Yeah, some of the bodies found. Was any thing done about trying to find out who they were? Was it possible at all?
Yes. Of course, security agents told us they were able to identify a few persons, the relations. So, but it's something the security will speak on as far as this issue is concerned, because it's something that's very sensitive. The way a whole lot of things that we are managing, with almost caution. You understand? But I know at the appropriate time, a summary of everything that transpired there will still be communicated to the still be made public. But the most important thing is that criminals brought to justice, were arrested, and the security will do the needful, and above all, is returned there.
All right.
The
line is a bit dodgy there. Okay.
Be kidnapped or killed.
Okay, Ferdinand, if you can hear me, let's pause a while. Let's hear Joseph. Joseph is also in the studio. He's a political security analyst, and he would respond a bit to some of the things. Sorry about that. He'll respond to some of the things you said. I can hear you very well. I'm saying that let's hold on a while. Let's have Joseph Olorunso say some parts and react to some of the things you've also said briefly. Joseph?
Okay, let me start with the security issue. I think it will be, apart from when the security police in question, when they finish their investigation, I believe they are going to hand over the file to the DPP of Abia State, the Ministry of Justice, Abia State, for prosecution. I think the state should monitor work with the police to ensure that justice is done. And the other one is if there's any way they find out the relative, Africa will respect those that join the other side. They should be able to give a respect to them. Let the family be called
and have closure.
Be able to. Because sometimes someone will abuse you that do you know your father's grave or your mother's grave, so it will be good for to respect those the people, culture, and the rest of them. I see back to the market too. It's good that they said it's now a day market, not a market that people should
at night.
But I think proper profiling should continue, because like if you look at Lagos now, there's this thing they call a LASRA, whereby knowing the resident in a particular place. I think there's need for the government to. Though some people say in our constitution will say that everybody should be able to live anywhere in the world, but I don't see why you should be living in a place and you don't want to be
enumerated
then having your data. So Abia, when you are going like this kind of development, there is need for you to have data, because that will actually assist the government very, very well.
And for them, I think their own will now be Astra, because it's beginning with A. Okay, let's quickly remind you that we have as guests here.
Thank you for that.
Okay, so react to that first. What do you think of the idea Joseph just brought, having Astra, where you can, take the details of everybody in the state to know who is who. So when things like that happen again, you are able to have a data. You'll have a data to fall back on. Briefly, what do you think of that? Or do you have it already?
Of course, it's a fantastic suggestion. You see, what we do in our country sometimes when some of these very important issues are raised, people will shout and make it look as if what the government is asking for it's a crime. But it's when you have issues, when you have a problem, when you experience a loss, that you appreciate the importance of some of these things. There's absolutely nothing wrong in having people's data. If you are not involved in crimes and criminality, of course, you won't have any reason to be afraid or complain or refuse to accept such, such guidelines being brought up by the government. So, in fact, that was our position. It was one of the things the government told people around that law panther axis, because it is in your interest, so that if somebody is in your midst, you can account for the person, you can explain the person's identity, or even somebody is missing, you will be able to know that this is our friend, or this is our colleague, or this is our brother is missing. When you have people's data, and if something goes wrong, it's even easy. If somebody is involved in kidnapping, it will be easy with his data to be able to pursue him. So it helps a lot.
It helps.
There was a kidnapping case. There was a kidnapping case that happened in Abia. This year, a deputy vice chancellor of Abia State University was kidnapped. Kidnapped him somewhere in his village, which is very close to the boundary between Abia and Imo. Because the measures we took, it's actually difficult to kidnap anybody and keep him in Abia. It is very difficult to kidnap anyone and stay in Abia with the person. So they kidnapped the man, the professor, and moved over to Imo. Went and kept him somewhere in a very dangerous zone. Of course, when our security, agencies swung into action, they were able to track where the man was kept in Imo. To strike, but they knew the man's life would be endangered. But after everything, the kidnappers were apprehended. One was arrested in Port Harcourt, one was arrested in Lagos on his way to Turkey. It looked like a mystery to them, it looked like a magic to them. But because the government has so improved, we have so improved with intelligence gathering, we are not taking chances. We want to secure our state. Because we are about bringing investors into this state. And you can't bring investors in a state that is unsafe. And it was one of the reasons why the governor swung into action to ensure that the law panther, as it is, gotten rid of those kidnappers and ritualists and all the rest of them. Because you will recall that it was at that law panther that the prelate of Methodist Church in Nigeria, was kidnapped in 2021. And the church was alleged to have paid a ransom of 100 million naira. I think that was 2021 or early 2022.
Okay,
so we have restored sanity. Restored sanity in these places.
Okay, let's move to another bit now. I've gotten all what I need to get from there. And Lock Panther, goodness, the way I called it at first was not close at all. Lock Panther, don't worry, I know it very well. Now we're going to go to another aspect. Let's take a look. You are looking at employing 5,000 teachers. I don't know how many you've gotten so far. The state had increased the retirement age, so you have those who are due in code before now for retirement. They'll still remain, and you have more teachers added. And it also brings me to a question that was sent in by Scholastica, who says that I should ask you or tell you about the skills in Insirimo, Umuahia South local government area, that they have turned to forest. Is not good for learning, that they should please do something about it. Example of schools, I repeat, Insirimo Secondary School, for example, Insirimo Central School, Community Secondary School, and that there are no roads for the children to go to school to learn. If you could look into this, Scholastica sent this in from Okeafa. So if we can put it in a nutshell, compact, so that I will have time for more questions and people can call in. Now, let's just summarize the answer for this one I just talked about now. The teachers' 5,000 retirement and the fact that some schools are not habitable.
Okay. Thank you, Scholastica, for that question. First, let me respond to the employment of teachers.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very sad situation, what we really met on ground here, but we can't complain. This is our state. And that was actually why we were on it for years before the governor finally got it. So we are confronting this challenge head on. The truth is that you can run your own independent investigation. That Abia schools were completely abandoned. Teachers disappeared. The few who got contracts were able to move to the ministries. Why? Because teachers were not being paid in Abia. And people who ran away, abandoned the schools. I said, you can run your own independent investigation and find out the authenticity or otherwise of my claims. Now, we came here. Some of the policies and programs and initiatives we are coming up with, it is a strategy to restore confidence in our teachers, to bring back teachers to the classrooms. What is a society? How will a society exist without teachers? So they were not paying teachers for years, and they said they classified them as non-core civil servants. There was something they call core and non-core. For them, they call civil servants are those working in ministries, and non-core civil servants are those working in departments and agencies. So you have people working in ABSU or students in ABSU. You have people working in Abia Poly, School of Health Technology, Abia State College of Education and Technical, Arochukwu, in different institutions. They were being owed. Hospital Management Board and all the rest of them, they were called non-core civil servants. So they were heavily owed. So many teachers got frustrated and found a way to move to the ministries, and schools were abandoned. And that was one of the reasons why public schools in Abia completely collapsed. So what we are doing now is trying to restore rebuild our schools. For example, the governor has made it very clear beyond this, increase in the age of retirement from 60 down 65. The governor has specifically said that we will review salaries paid to teachers and other incentives must be provided to encourage teachers back to the classroom. Again, we have what we are doing now is trying to send back teachers, those who were employed, have been issued as teachers and who left the classrooms. They are now being, a process of retraining them has started. And a lot of them are going to be deployed back to the schools. So those who were not teachers but were employed by the Ministry of Education may be allowed to remain in ministries, but those who were teachers must go back to the classrooms. But they're not just going there as a way of punishing them. No, we are trying to encourage them. We are trying to review what they are being paid as salaries. We are going to review a lot of things, a lot of incentives. The governor has given the directive and the process has already started. So we have also said we are going to employ teachers, like you rightly pointed out, because what is on ground.
Hello? All right, it's frozen there. Let's see if it picks up again quickly. We were hoping that to pick up again quickly. The guys that will take charge to see what's happening there. But you've heard what he said so far, Joseph, right? You could react?
Yeah, I think education is very, very important. For you to move forward, you need to have seriously an informed individual whereby you communicate your policy, you communicate your ideas. You should be able to own in and help you to actually succeed in the way of those waste and other area aspect of life in Abia. If you have a very sophisticated citizen, it is always easy for any leader to be able to use them to achieve what you want to achieve. And so giving priority to education is extremely very, very key, but I don't know how much the cost implication. Because for me, I study education. Looking at education is supposed to be like a social responsibility that the government should, everybody must be educated, so that you don't see people vandalizing government property and but people engage in that because of lack of knowledge or in implication of what they are actually doing. So whatever it will cost the government, the people in any state, in any country, in any local government, we should do everything possible to make sure that they are sophisticated individual education wise.
Okay, once he gets back on, we're going to be looking at the roads, of course, and we'll look. I will need to know if they found the airport already. We are looking for. Yemi Alade is looking for Johnny. Okay. Abia is looking for airport. Let's see if Chat GPT has been able to help them find the airport that
anybody that's able to find the airport, then the name should be in the Guinness Book of Records.
Yes, so. And the governor had said something about that no, I'm not looking for you to be arrested. We just need our money back. Just give us our money back. Yeah. No, the airport's nowhere now. Except AI will look for it. They said they may use AI. Just give us our airport back. I mean, the money.
All the money.
And also
with interest.
Yeah, and I think EFCC is speaking some interest in that after the KPMG audits that came out. All right, you're back. Okay, you're back. In the words of Nas and Didi, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, so we apologize for that. It's a techie thing that is going on. All right, you said what you had to say.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's respond to the school. The lady has sent me school, the pictures and all. They plant cassava there or everything. It's now going back to. You should see the pictures of the school and all that. So what are we doing about the schools? We'll talk about that quickly, and we'll move on to our roads and other things. All right. She referred to
thank you.
Yes.
On our schools, I'm happy I believe that school must have been one of Sirimo. Yeah, I know where Sirimo is, in Umaya South. I'm very happy. I like growing up, whenever I heard in Sirimo, I like the name Sirimo. I like it. So I strongly believe that is Sirimo Secondary School must be one of the schools that have been penciled down for reconstruction.
You mentioned
we are building and reconstructing our schools to take them to model school levels. That's what we are doing, and I can authoritatively tell you that we are awarding 10 schools, 10 primary schools and 3 secondary schools per local government. We have 17 local governments. We have 184 wards. So we are building 10 primary schools and either new construction or reconstruction, 10 secondary schools per local government. Sorry, 10 primary schools, please. 10 primary schools per local government and 3 secondary schools per local government. So 10 secondary is already 170 schools. Then you have 3 secondary schools per local government. So you know what that means. And so I'm very sure that Nsirimo must be one of the beneficiaries. Yeah. We are not taking chances, and I can tell you specifically, I've taken note of this particular school. Like I said, I know they must be one of the beneficiaries. Okay. But even if they weren't, I can assure you, having mentioned it here, I will pass it across to the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Professor Uche Muche, so that she will swing into action and do the needful there. So we must respond very decisively and swiftly, and you will see that we actually did. So I will tell you, I will bring this issue up again the next time we talk,
and
so that they will find out whether something has been done or not.
And so Scholastica is going to be our eye. She will let us know.
So
well done.
That's what we are doing. We want to.
Scholastica is going to pay attention and watch you for me.
What we are doing.
Okay, no, I wanted to move. I wanted to move on to somewhere else. Okay.
The situation of our school is horrible, so we want to solve the problem. Okay, sir. Okay. Go ahead.
Let me move on to the next. Let's talk about roads. The road works. You've had a lot of them going up, and things have been done. People say now that from PH to Abia is like before you close your eyes, but don't close your eyes while you're driving. You're already there, and it's smooth, it's fast, and you have these words going round. But there are some places I'm sure that are still complaining about their roads not being good. Before you tell me about the other road projects that you have, there is this thing we found that the road that is the Port Harcourt Abia road is 6 lane, right? But it's not concrete, and it's 6.7 kilometers. And it was done under the cost of 30 billion naira, which is about 4.5 billion per kilometers. And the FG is building her own, and their own, which is concrete and all that, is 4 billion per kilometers. And this question that was sent in, person is wondering, how come yours is more expensive?
That is a hicho. Can you repeat?
Yes.
Sorry, please. Don't be offended. I didn't get you.
How me?
You were talking about Port Harcourt.
Me offend can never. So this the person is asking to know how come the money spent to do just a kilometer of that road, 4.5 billion per kilometer, and it's not even a concrete road, is more than the one that they're doing for the coastal road that is about 4 billion per kilometers. Briefly, is it true? Is yours more expensive? And if so, why?
Okay, if it says per kilometer, like you said, 6 lanes. And if you ask engineers how they measure roads, they will tell you. You are saying 6 lanes, assuming it's 2 lane. Now, because you will need to do a kilometer multiplied by that 6. I think that's how it's calculated, if I'm not making a mistake. Now, this is a road project. First, that road was awarded because it's important to put the record straight. That road was awarded in 2017 by the former government at the cost of 9-point-something billion, almost 10 billion. It was awarded to a construction company with, less reputation or name than Julius Berger. And if you look at the dollar rate at that point, you multiply it by today, you find out that amount is more than the 30 billion we awarded Port Harcourt to Julius Berger for. If you look at that. Now, what we awarded is 6.8 kilometers, because they were not starting at number 1 Port Harcourt Road, where the previous government awarded. We're starting from Asa Road. That's where we are taking it. Even though at the moment we started from that number 1 Port Harcourt Road, but we're taking it to that Asa Road. True, you may just wish to go and see the underground tunneling and drainage work that Julius Berger is doing. So this is not just a road you come, you do without good drainage and anything. No, it's been done by Julius Berger. Now the refuse, I'm sure you saw the videos and pictures that were evacuated from that place alone. Some of them were installed as a 3-story building. You can just go to Port Harcourt Road and make inquiries and speak to people, to the people living around that area. So it's a matter of the job you're doing, the quality of the job, the nature of the job, with the tunneling and the drainage system that you want to do. And to be very honest with you, at a point, we always had a problem with Julius Berger. Because, you know, sometimes your goodwill, your relationship is a factor. And the goodwill of the governor was a factor in Julius Berger accepting to do that road at 30 billion. Because at a point, they said they weren't, and especially when dollar was doing what it was doing, they now said they weren't going to do it again at that cost. So if there was an inflation or Julius Berger was desperate to do, they would not have said they weren't going to do again. So it almost became an embarrassment to us. Because when naira continued to depreciate, they now said they weren't going to do again. And if you run your investigation, you find out that Julius Berger was the only, for that construction road project, I think they were the only construction company we gave an upfront payment before they started. Because we just wanted to tie them down to do that job. So we gave them an upfront payment of 5 billion. When they, after they have mobilized, even before they started doing a single thing.
You've answered that question, actually.
As far as we are concerned, and that's the only road they are doing at the moment.
Okay, so quickly now, what other road projects do you have within inner city roads and so on? You have other projects lined up this period that you'll be working on?
Yes, we have, of course, Ndo Kereke, Arochukwu, Ozuabam Road. That one is about, I think, 15 kilometers. I've forgotten the number of kilometers. It's also a very strategic, massive road, goes across the, different parts of Arochukwu local government, which is being done by, I think, CCECC. I think they are the one doing that one. It's a massive road project. Then you have another road, the Umwahia Uzuakole.
Okay, it has glitched again. All right, while we're waiting for that to unfreeze, I'll be letting you'll be calling in shortly. 0700 903
strategic road that leads to different parts of Abia North. Abia North, that's where I come from. It's a very strategic. We have population, we have everything, and our side, the Abia North part of the state, is the busiest zone in the state because you have a lot of businessmen and women, a lot of rich men. So during the Christmas, our people travel a lot for Christmas, whether you're living in the US, in UK, Europe, America, Lagos, Abuja. So people flew back home. So it's usually a very busy place. So to ensure that the road project was finished in record time, the government decided to award it to 3 different construction companies. So you are doing from here to here. This one is doing from here. So it's 20-something times 3 of them. So that was how it was done. It was a well thought out strategy to ensure that you don't punish the people in the course of trying to solve their problem. Because we have had a situation where a road project will be awarded and we take 3, 4, 5 years before it will be completed. So we do not want to operate that way. And that is why we are spreading this thing to ensure that the road projects are given to different construction companies, but they must be construction companies that have reputation. Even if you had done a bad job in the past for people because you connect with them to do all kinds of things, you can't do it with us. So that is why every of our road projects comes with stone base, and we ensure that once completed, you have street lights. So that's exactly what Julius Berger is doing on Port Harcourt Road, and that is what we are doing in some other places. Then, of course, you have the Osa Road, the strategic road Osa Road, which moves from Abia Tower to Umuahia, the capital city. Now, with that road, we want to change the look of the Umuahia capital territory, because we have that road leading to the one that also a place called Cooperative that also leads to Zone 9 or going to Abia North. Then the right part of this Osa road will now go to a place called Bank Road, where you have banks. In fact, some of the banks have started pulling down their fences and moving them back because the government had already given them pre-notice ahead of time for them to prepare and know what government plans to do there. So we want to open our city. Again, this Osa road, we have the second phase. The Abia Tower, if you know where it is in Abia, is going to be brought down. So we are going to dualize the road and build a second phase of Falsa Road, which will get to the boundary between Abia and Imo, which is called Onu-Imo. So that is where we are going to take possibly the tower will not be located there, but the most important thing is that the road will be built, dualized to that end.
Right,
so
Ferdinand,
there are a whole lot of other road projects that are ongoing. Just a few days ago, the governor flagged off the Ekeoma road, which leads to an industrial zone where the NNPC depot, was abandoned. An NNPC depot is located there, but it's abandoned, and people have decided there. But to have industries that collapsed Ferdinand? Because there is no road.
Okay, Ferdinand, let's wrap this bit up because we need to find out just one more thing. And in case the call
does come, please.
Okay, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. The number you'll be calling. Okay, the number you'll be calling, and it'll be like 30 seconds. I'm talking to the listener now. Will be 0700 903 903 903, and we'll be looking for you. We will join you to look for your airport shortly because we need to find that airport. But before we look for the airport, Jude from Ajawa Estate is asking, Umwahia ikote koene. Or is it Ikote Kwene the person is trying to write? I don't know. But the person wrote Ikote Kwene Road. Maybe it's Ikote. Okay. That was the situation now. Because I don't know. That the road is a death trap. So the Ikote Kwene Umuahia Road, in 30 seconds. Are you doing something about this?
We intend to do something about it. I wouldn't lie to you. We've not started doing anything. What we just did was coming from the town part of it, going to Michael Okra University of Agriculture, Umudike. We have been doing palliative work along that road. But we found out that because we are in touch with the federal government actually awarded the road contract to this, what's the name of the construction company? Heartland Construction Company.
All right, it timed out. Please, let's get back on. And while we're waiting for him to get back on, let's take this call. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good morning. This is David.
Hi, David. How are you?
Fine. No, we're not doing bad.
Okay, good.
Speak with your guest. What I would like to know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, road.
Say that again. You have to say that again, please.
I would like to know what the governor, the other state government, this present administrations will do concerning Ohafia Oboro Ebem Road.
Ohafia Ebem Road. Okay.
Yes. Oboro, yes. Ohafia Okagwe, other axes. What are you doing concerning the road? It's so bad. It's very, very, very not motorable at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Noted. Let's try and get him back on. All right. Thank you very much. That is noted. You can react to some of the things.
This is the type of a good leader. When good leaders are speaking, we will hear with them from their way. You're telling me the way they care for the people, what to develop the people. We are telling them we are wishing them good luck.
All right.
If there's anything more than 100% results, that's what we are expecting from them. We will support them in the street. May God bless them. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much. 0700 903 903 903. And we've had online speaking with us Ferdinand Ekeoma, who is the SA Media and Publicity to the Abia State Governor, His Excellency Otti. And we've been having a session with him. So far, so good. But timed out. I'm going to go back and wrap it up because there is one major thing we still have to look at. Hopefully he can, scale through via the connection. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Your name?
I'm speaking from the Zubo. But let me make it big because of my issue.
Okay, turn down the volume on your radio set first.
The Abia market. The former old Abia market.
Yes.
What led me as the honorable commissioner? It was the old Abia market constituted by our forefathers. The last government shared it, and we are not happy about it. Come and see what Fashola did with the Abia market. Well, why is it shared to private people? The old Abia Umuahia market. The Umuahia market. Please, What is this present government doing about it?
Okay. All right. Is it noted? All right. Thank you very much. The old Umuahia market, right? That was what he said. What's the government doing about it? As if it was shared to private individuals. We'll ask. And maybe if we're not able to get through via that, maybe we could do it via a call. Can we do it via a call house? Let's walk around that. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
Okay, my name is Mr. Joseph from Angola.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, please, I want to ask the Honorable Commissioner.
No, he's a special advisor on media and publicity. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So what they are doing about if you allow us walking over to Abia Road, please.
Okay, Nsiala, the road. Okay, you know, yes. He has talked about roads too and said that a lot have been penciled and a lot of them will be worked on, but I'll still ask him and hoping that he will come through soon. If not, he will still listen back to this and will still give you feedback. Thank you very much. All right. Joseph?
Like what I was saying, I say my appeal is to the wonderful people of Abia that when the government is making all this effort, they should not maybe sabotage the effort by throwing waste on the gutter, whereby it will not be blocking the drainage. Then if there's any person, maybe property or that need to give way for the sake of the good of the people, the person should not rush to court. You know, in some places, government in doing a particular thing that will be of benefit to people. Even when compensation in there, some people will say, no going back.
Okay.
Or they engage in some long litigation.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, Madam Cordelia.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, ma. This is Opportunity Goodness. I'm from Abia State. I'm calling from Ojo.
Okay.
I want to ask your guest what the governor is doing concerning the boundary between Abia State and Ikpeazu people, which we had on news that they were fighting and few people died. And even before now, those two people have been fighting about this boundary. So I just beg for His Excellency to do something about it. If it's possible, let him go and have a meeting with the governor, with the other state governor, so that they can put a stop to that, so that we will not have a situation whereby soldiers will come in and another disaster will happen. Please.
Okay.
That is all I call for.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see, can you hear us now? Hello, Ferdinand? Mr. Ferdinand Ekeoma, are you there? All right, he hasn't maybe come through. Once he's through, I'll ask those questions and we'll take this one. Hello? Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, your name?
Good morning, Madam Cordelia.
Morning, what's your name?
My name is Ekeoma. I'm from Abia State. Just traveled here to Ethiopia a few days ago. What has to advise other state government? They are doing well.
Okay, you just want to commend them.
Yeah, everybody's seeing it. They are doing well. Well, they seem consequent.
Okay.
Since the matter of airport issue is now handed over to USCC, they should leave that matter to USCC and concentrate and do the needful in other states.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello? All right. Okay, you're back on. Okay. We've been taking some calls while you're away, and I'll be giving you feedback of the calls now. And we're just going to give...
Yeah, I listen to Madam Chinyere. I listen.
Okay.
Yes.
On the boundary issue, right? Okay, please
ask
respond.
Question about the boundary between Abia and Akwa Ibom.
Yes, please respond.
In fact, her suggestion is already... Yes, her suggestion is a fantastic one. And government has already started that process. It's unfortunate. Of course, we are very much in touch with the Akwa Ibom State government to ensure that there is a, amicable resolution of the problem. Most times you look at these are just minor issues, but the way people feel because you are from this state and from this state, you make it look as if there is any difference. There's no difference. So ordinarily, the things that, that could be easily resolved, people will just take it and as if something extraordinary, resort to fighting. So we are involved. We're in touch with the Akwa Ibom state government to ensure that we resolve this problem between the neighboring communities and we get it resolved.
Okay.
And like she rightly said, so that we won't give room where maybe some security agents will take advantage of it and begin to make life miserable for the people. So the suggestion is well noted, well taken.
Okay,
Yeah.
and somebody said or sent in or called to ask a question. Old Umuahia market, that is like an ancestral thing, but like the previous administration also shed it out to private individuals and so on. The question is, what are we going to do about the old Umuahia market? Hello?
Okay, you know, it used to be a market. I understand you're talking about the Umuahia main market. That place belonged to the government, and our position is that nobody have any right to convert what belongs to the people and or what belongs to the government for personal use. Government is going to reclaim all those places. That is the truth. And government is, negotiating with a lot of investors to build standard markets in Umuahia. Markets that will have access, where you have route. So while government, you need to lead the way first. Investors are showing so much interest in Abia because of what we are doing, and we need to improve and do more so that when you invest, you recoup your investments. Nobody wants to invest where he or she cannot recoup, where they cannot recoup. So your observation is very correct. The old Umuahia market, the place was taken over by government. They went and built a Ubani Beko market, and the other place was either sold to private individuals or I don't know who they sold those places to. The government is now ready to recover everything that belongs to the people. If you're going to take what belongs to the people, that it must be for overriding public interest, not for selfish personal and not the rest of them. So
Okay.
we are on it. We're on it.
And somebody asked about Insalangwa Road, that what are you doing about that? And another one, road from Ubakala to Insirimo, that road too is bad, or what is the plan for the two I just mentioned? Are they on your list?
Isialangwa, well, the person is not specific. The person didn't specifically mention the road in Isialangwa, because I know we are doing a road at Isialangwa North. We also doing another road from what do you call it? I'm trying to remember the name of that place in Isialangwa South that crosses to Isialangwa North. So there are many ongoing road projects in different parts of the state, and they are visible. But if there are places that we've not, the government hasn't come, of course, the government will visit all of them.
Okay.
Because we have education is receive the highest allocation in our budget. After education, you have health. After health, you have road infrastructure. So a whole lot of job.
Okay, let's
going to be done. We're going to do a lot of job in different local governments.
Okay, let's take this call now. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Yes, your name and 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Ondo. Now, the governor is trying very well. We recommend him. But I want to ask Mr. SA advisor. Yeah, about to the road, because that road, there are many governments in other states. I was not
hello, sir. Please, could you turn down the volume on your radio set? And can you just state the question straight up, because we're slightly out of time already.
Okay, I have done that.
Okay, so to the question directly, right? To the question directly.
So yeah, so that has gone.
Okay, I think you please change your location and call back, because it's not clear at all. I can't hear what you are saying. But did you get him, Ferdinand?
Gotten his question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I've gotten his question. I've gotten his question. Let me respond. He was talking about a very strategic road called Obohia Road in Abia.
Okay.
It was one of the roads with which the government took a whopping loan of $29 million. From African Development Bank, and the road was never done. They abandoned it. So that road and Ohanku Road are another two strategic roads that must be done. So the governor has already mentioned it. So very soon, moving equipment. We found those places on Hanku Road, Nobuhia Road, very soon. It will be built. The oil local government of Okwa East and Okwa West. So it's a very strategic road that must be built, and we are not going to do it. I'm not talking about awarding it next year, but this year the road will be awarded and the construction starts.
Okay, now let's
so
talk.
It's well noted.
Okay, let's talk about our airport. We were using, before you came back, we were helping to you use ChatGPT to locate it, because your governor said maybe we should use AI to look for the airport. Now, the response came from the former governor reacting to the KPMG reports that you all just chasing shadows, that they sent the monies into different, pipelines in quotes to take care of roads because the traditional leaders wanted roads instead. Now, your governor said that, you know what, I don't want no fight, just give us back the monies. But they said they've spent the monies on the road or roads. Have you found the roads? 1, 2. If you do not find any road and you do not get any money back, what will happen?
Well, something has already started happening. The EFCC has swung into action. The culprits or the perpetrators have already been invited, including the construction company that distributed the money, Ferrotex. You after what our governor said, we're only interested in the money, but the situation where the perpetrators insist they are not going to bring back the money, then they will be brought to justice. If the money doesn't belong to Alex Otti, even the one he's working with now, the funds do not belong to him. The funds belong to Abia people. And the people must ask questions at all time. And they must use the government or those representing them to ask fundamental questions, to push for justice to be done. We're talking about 10 billion naira, my sister. And that malfeasance took place in 2020. That was during the COVID-19 lockdown. That 10 billion naira, the value of it is about 50 billion today. That was what they did. Now, what did they do? You claimed that you were awarding an airport project. They did press conferences or indulged in all kinds of media razzmatazz to talk about the airport project they were going to execute. Then, according to you, some traditional rulers now visited you and forced you to change your mind and now decided to use the money for road projects. You still went ahead, because when you look at the conversations, the claim they have made, you find out that they equally paid the money after traditional rulers had visited them. So if the traditional rulers visited you and convinced you not to go ahead with the airport project, what did you do? You still went ahead to pay the money. Whatever I'm telling you here, we have documents, there are facts, and you can run your own independent investigation. They collected that money, they transferred that money to Ferrotex Construction Company on the 25th day of September 2020. 25th day of September 2020. Then on the 13th of October, the same 2020, almost a month after, about 20-something days after, you approached the House of Assembly for approval. So you had no approval from the House of Assembly, and you went and transferred money to a construction company. Now, according to you, don't forget they said they had changed their mind. You now transfer 10 billion naira at a go to a construction company. Now, when the construction company told you, because there are documents where the construction company said, we don't do road projects, you also agreed with them. What were you supposed to do as a government? What you were supposed to do was to ask the construction company to send the money back to your account, even though you knew what you were doing, because you sent the money to them after they had told you, we don't do road projects. Now, instead of you to ask them to send the money back to your account, to state government account, you now sent list of accounts and construction companies to transfer the funds to distribute the funds to 32 bank accounts. Then Ferrotex started distributing the funds to different companies. Now, is Ferrotex a bank? Was Ferrotex the accountant general of the state? On what basis did you direct them to start distributing funds to other construction companies, not to their own companies, so to other construction companies? So you see, you could see even the blind will see that this was a well thought out act of money laundering. You just used the construction company to siphon, to share money in the most audacious manner that had never been seen. This is very simple. It's very clear. The documents are there.
Okay, Ferdinand, you already
of their first measure recently, they even brought out a document.
Okay, you said already
they even brought a document. They said that to prove that the governor changed his mind and communicated through an ESCO resolution. But it brought one document without reference, a document that was allegedly signed by the governor, which they said it was what the governor used to instruct the commissioner for works to now divert the money for road projects. In the first place, a governor does not issue ESCO resolution. It is the SSG from the secretariat. So they have been forging out documents and fabricating all kinds of things to mislead the people. And like we said, we are only interested in the money. So it's when they see, because there's some trying to make it look as if the governor has anything against the former governor. No. Bring back our money. That's all.
All right, bring back our money. That's all. Ferdinand Ekeoma said that. He's the SA to the governor of Abia State on media and publicity. We'll be wrapping this up shortly. And before we go, we would like to know the plans of the government. I have just 1 minute to do this. Going forward, what more should we expect, other projects and so on? And I've been told to please let you know, Mr. Wafo says, in Uturu, we have never had light for years and no single government-built road in the whole of Uturu. All right, I just wanted you to hear that, do something about it. But in 1 minute, what will be your message from the governor to everybody listening right now as for what to expect?
Our message to our people in every part of the country and in any part of the world is that this is a government that is committed to serving our people. Our people have suffered for years, and we now have the opportunity to write our checkered history, to wipe the tears of our people, to bring development and prosperity to the doorstep of our people. And we must do that with commitment and dedication and sincerity and passion. And of course, with humility. We are not claiming to have gotten everything right. We are not saying we are infallible. We are not. We have made some mistakes, but we are equipped to look at where we've made mistakes and take corrections. And we are open and ready to be scrutinized. We are open and ready to listen to our people, to listen to people who are telling us the truth, who are criticizing the government. So this state does not belong to Governor Otti. It doesn't belong to any of us. Government institutions do not belong to us. So the mindset with which we are operating now is to make the people know that what belongs to the people belongs to the people. That you are a governor, a commissioner, or a special advisor does not mean that all what belongs to the people have suddenly become your own. No. So we've conditioned our minds to realize that one day we will live here, and there's the government that will succeed you, like the governor said on the day he inaugurated the judicial panel of inquiry, is that those who will be succeeding him may also have reasons to probe him, to set up their own judicial panel of inquiry. And that was why he urged his appointees and everybody to comport themselves responsibly. Let us serve our people. Let us wipe the tears of our people. Let us develop our state. Let us reduce hunger. And let us create job opportunities for our youth. Because that is the most strategic way of fighting insecurity. When you see people agitating for one thing or the other, it is because the government over the years have frustrated them. So we must show a difference now that we have the opportunity to do. So we're encouraging our people to keep supporting the government of Dr. Alex Otti, keep giving us feedbacks, whatever problems we identify, wherever we have gotten it wrong, please inform us. We are not interested in bullying anyone. We are not interested in lying against the public. We are not interested in intimidating workers and pensioners and others of them. We are not. We have never demolished any structure without paying compensation, any building without paying compensation, and we continue to do so. Both at Osa, both at what do you call it? Umweka, where we want to build a dual carriage road, we're saying we'll pay compensation to every single structure that is going to be brought down before we commence. That is how we are operating. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. But before you go,
to see the governor here.
Okay, Joseph has something to say. Joseph?
Sir, I think we hope to see the governor in the studio very, very soon. Is that a yes or yes?
He said, is that a yes or yes? No other option. Yes or yes?
Yes.
You heard.
Yes. Put that big honestly, ready will be in Lagos.
All right, that would be great. We'll be looking forward to that day, and you can ask your questions, even more questions then. But right now we have to go, and I thank you very much. But remember the one I told you about, Uturu, don't forget them. They need lights, they need roads from the government. Calls are still coming in, but unfortunately we can't take any more.
No,
Joseph, no, we can't take any more. Joseph, your last
as far as I'm concerned, the government that prioritizes education is my government.
Thank you, Joseph Olorunsho. And we say a very big thank you for your time. Ferdinand Ekeoma, Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to the Executive Governor of Abia State. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Yeah? All right. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Just
thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too. Bless you too.
Yeah, it's a good one, and I think we don't want Nigeria. Is possible for us to achieve all the wonderful things for people to live a good life in Nigeria. So that we start this jackpot. If all state governors are able to put their hands on deck and see what they can do in their various states. Yeah,
and if they also remember that by the time you leave, the person before you, no matter how well you perform, the person before you will still like to probe you. So better do the right thing. Save yourself the stress, save all the documents, and let the people feel your impact positively. Right? Positively. Thank you so much for being a part of all this morning. I'll be stepping aside shortly. The news will be at the top of the hour, and I'll be back tomorrow morning, and hopefully you'll be here to join me. I'm Cordelia Obe. Joseph Olorunsho, thank you for your time too.
Thank you very much.
Chidera, thank you for the controls. Till tomorrow. Over.